Ray Thornton made 6 tackles this past season. He made 15 in 2020, but he's made his last one at Clemson, apparently. He's entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, second safety to enter the portal. Joseph Charleston entered it a few weeks ago. Couple of these safeties have just been out-recruited. There's just no other way to say it. Andrew Makuba came in, and he was spectacular as a freshman, was just named the ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year yesterday. I mean, he just came in, and he just got it from the very beginning. And that's something you just don't see a whole lot of for a freshman in Brent Venables' defense. It's not easy to play that much as a true freshman under Venables, and Makuba came in here and pulled it off, and he's just passed those other guys by. And now Clemson's got 6 defensive backs committed in the 2022 class, all blue-chip guys. Keon Sabb is one of the safeties. Golly, I'm forgetting the other one right off the top of my head, but those two guys would have probably been ahead of Charleston and Thornton, right? Going into the spring or right off the bat. Their ceilings are just that high, so it's not that hard to see why these guys are wanting to go try to find opportunities somewhere else. And I certainly don't think he's going to be the last name we see leaving. I expect several more over the next few weeks.
We know Dabo Swinney's in love with the transfer portal. Do you think he would jump in there to get a quarterback?
That's that's a question I've been posed with a few times over the last few weeks. And going into next season, they're only going to have 3 scholarship quarterbacks. DJ Uyunglele, Tyson Pumachan, and the true freshman Cade Klubnik. I don't think they would right now, barring Pumachan transferring. He just finished up his 3rd year. It wouldn't be a shock to see him move on. A lot of quarterbacks move on after 3 years if they're not starting, trying to find playing time somewhere else. I haven't heard anything about him entering the portal. I'm not saying that he's going to. I'm just saying it wouldn't be a shock. Now, if that were to happen, I could see them maybe dipping their toe into that portal and looking for one. But if that doesn't happen, I think they'll at least stand pat until after the spring and see where things stand after that. But I would be very surprised if we're sitting here at the start of the 2022 season and Clemson hasn't brought in a transfer. I just don't see any other way around it. The new rule allows you to sign, I forget what it was now, a few more extra guys depending on,
I believe
7. Yeah, and Clemson's already lost like 6 this year. So, I mean, that's 7 extra guys you can sign. I just don't see – and Clemson's only got 14 guys committed right now. And they have like 7 or 8 open spots plus those extra spots. So, I mean, there's a lot Dabo Swinney could do if he wants to venture into the portal. And there's some talented guys in that portal. And I'll be very surprised if we're sitting here, before the start of the 2022 season and Clemson hasn't at least taken 1 or 2 transfers. And I know people think Dabo Swinney's dead set against taking those guys. The world might come to an end when he does it, but I think it's coming.
Chase Bryce is playing in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game on Saturday. Maybe it's time for him to come back to the ACC and make another switch. He seems to do that every year. So
he has moved around a lot, hasn't he?
All right, Jason Priester.
He seems to have found himself a home there at App State, though. I thought he had one at Duke for a while. It didn't work out, but he seems to fit in there at App State, and he's had a pretty good season there.
Yeah, it helps when the guys in front of you block the guys that are on the other side. It gives him a little more opportunity to make some plays and win some games like they've done at App State at 10-2 this year.